Assalamualaikum and good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for so much for joining us today. We really appreciate you taking the time to be here today. My name is Tehmeen, and I'll be your host for today's session. We're excited to have you with us for this webinar on how AI voice coaches are changing soft skills training. Before we begin, just a quick note: this session is being recorded, and you can drop your questions in the chat anytime. We will keep the time for Q&A at the end of the session. Now, I would like to introduce our speakers. We are joined by Mr. Mohammad Waleed Butt. He's the co-CEO and head of AI. He'll be sharing insights on how AI voice coaching is changing the way soft skills are trained and practiced. We are also joined by Usman Ahmed with us. He's a senior product manager and he will give us live practical view of what AI voice coach looks in action. Before we move forward, here is a quick introduction about what AB Ark Solutions is. So we are an AI and software development company. We help SMEs, government sectors, and enterprise teams with AI-powered automations and scalable digital solutions. Right. So here's what we will explore together today. Firstly, we will explain like why are soft skills still the hardest skills to train. Then we will look into why don't traditional workshops change real behavior. And after that, we will look into what is AI voice coaching and what it is not. And we will also explore how does real-time feedback change how people learn communication. And we will explore how AI voice coaching is changing the future of learning. And finally, we will wrap our session with a live walkthrough of AI voice coach. So with that information, I would like Mr. Waleed Butt to continue from here.
Hello, everyone. I hope you can hear me. How are you all doing today? As the team has given a walkthrough over the basics of what we will be covering today, I will continue and tell you more about soft skills and why they aren't being practiced enough, and should we even practice them enough? What even are soft skills? So, first and foremost, what are soft skills, right? Soft skills are the skills that you don't uh, see very often, but as in when you're handing over your resume to someone, you don't really write down that I'm very good at communicating, that I know how to de-escalate a tense situation very well. You usually write down hard skills, practical skills. You write down skills like uh, coding, DevOps, gardening, things like that, things that would uh, you can practically see that how they are being used and the results of those skills. Soft skills, however, are just as important, if not more so, because of their ambiguous nature. They are a little bit harder to train, a little bit harder to practice. Usually, how people go about is learning them, training them, is by going through life, by going home, going to teachers, going to offices, and learning how they're talking to people, how other people are talking to them, and so on. And this is how they develop these skills. Actively training them is done by a very small amount of people who are interested in bettering their soft skills. And in these cases, these people are in the profession of either sales, marketing, C-level people, C-level executives who want to better their soft skills so they can better engage with clients, better engage with other people, better their dealings with them. But these skills are not just limited to these people. They are something that everyone should try to practice, everyone should try to attain. Now we come to part how if you want to train this skill, how do you actually train them, right? Here we what we do is we go to workshops, active workshops, live workshops, right? These workshops happen uh, every month, you can say, in a quarter, once in a quarter. And what happens in these workshops is you go there, there's a large amount of people who sit, and then someone conducts a session, a live session, right? And they try to teach you what soft skills are. They try to teach you how they play, what's wrong, what's right. They even bring up a few people for demonstrations. So this is all quite good. You go to these workshops, you learn things. You get quite good at them if you go home and start practicing them. And if you get actual feedback on what you're feeling short, that's even better for you. The issue is it happens very infrequently. You don't go to these workshops every day. In fact, you barely go once a month, right? And because of the infrequentness, people learn something, they practice a day or two, and then they forget to do it, and then it falls off. And this is why. these trainings are falling short nowadays. Now enters AI voice coaching. What is an AI voice coach? An AI voice coach is basically, I'm sure you all know of GPT. I'm sure you all know of real time that GPT has taken out, where you can talk to a voice of GPT, get feedback. You have also learned of multiple other models, Grok, DeepSeek, all of these, and multiple of them have their voice variants also. So imagine something that's talking to you, just like a human would. It's an AI agent that's talking to you. You're talking to them. They are listening to what you are saying to them. They are listening to your tone. They're listening to how you are pacing your conversation. They know what you are talking about, and most of all, they know your role and their role. You can assign roles these agents. You can say, "I'm an employee. You are my manager. I am the manager. You are my employee." You can initiate a certain situation in your life if you want to see how it could go, a certain future situation even, to see how it could go. And you can actually practice what to say, what not to say, when to say something, how to say something. These are all things that an AI voice coach can teach you on the fly. Now, there is another thing that comes up in communication. Usually, when you go to these webinars, when you go to these well, you can say the workshops that happen quarterly, monthly or so, the thing that comes up is all the communication is verbal. And that is the missing layer. Verbal is the best form of communication, right? But it's not the only form of communication. Most soft skills, while they are verbal, they are mostly tied towards communication, as in talking to someone, pacing your conversation, and so. But they are not just limited to that. It's also what you write. It's also what you send to someone on a Slack message. It's also what you uh, write an experience letter. When you email someone, when you reply to a certain email, these are also soft skills. And these skills aren't being taught in workshops. To be frank, they can't be taught properly in workshops. These are things that an AI voice coach can tell you. They can give you assignments on the fly, they can give you quizzes on the fly. You can fill them out. It can give you samples like, you got this email, how would you respond to it? It can also talk to you verbally while doing it, which is the main thing, because messages and written information and the information that you actually hear through your own ears have a vastly different impact. And all of these can be made better by AI voice coaches. Now, I would like to call on Usman, who can give you a brief demo about how AI voice coaches are actually performing, a sample of how they are working.
Thank you so much for that insightful overview. Now we clearly understand that how AI is, helping in the, soft skills. So today I want to introduce the AI tutor, a system designed to change how learner interact with content. Instead of just, the static content, the tutor will be a 5-year personal instructor that, understand the learning, the level, the context, and the learner gaps. So, the main goal was, that the learning make interactive, adaptive, and the continuous, not one directional. So now let me share my screen and give you the overview of product. So I believe you can see my screen. So that is the interface where we have, a topic defining a soft skill in professional context. So we have to just, click on, the start session. We'll be going to start the session and we can interact with the session. We can ask question, whatever we want to answer. And that's about it. So clicking on the start session button, we'll be going to start the session and so on and so forth.
Hello, Hyder. I'm glad you're here today. Let's dive into our lecture on soft skills and explore why they're so crucial for professional success. Soft skills encompass interpersonal attributes and communication abilities that are essential for effective collaboration and leadership within organizations. Imagine these skills as the glue that holds a team together.
Please
They
explain
influence.
effective collaboration and leadership.
Great question, Hyder. Effective collaboration refers to the ability of team members to work together productively towards a common goal. This involves clear communication, mutual respect, and an understanding of each other's strengths and weaknesses. When collaboration is effective, it leads to better
What
problem
properties
solving.
should be in the clear communication?
Clear communication includes several key properties. First, clarity itself is vital. Messages should be straightforward and easily understood, avoiding jargon or ambiguity. Next, active listening ensures that everyone feels heard and valued, which helps prevent misunderstandings. Another important property.
So that is basically, the AI tutor. We ask question, it explained according to the question and within the context. So first we have, the key capability. That is something, context aware learning. Then we have the personalized explanation. If, student or trainer or someone will be going to ask something that doesn't, understand in the first explanation, the tutor explain it in another way. Then we have the continuous availability. That is something, which is very huge. So that is 24 by 7 without delay, without fatigue. And as we mentioned the slide as well, that it will be going to help you to prepare your quizzes, assessment, the understanding mistakes, and the improve your weak areas. So I believe that's about it. Now we can move forward towards the slides.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Usman, for your description about AI voice coaches and how they are being used. And I believe you all now understand, now have a brief glimpse even of how these technologies work. They are quite good at answering your questions, replying to you, teaching you. And so now let us continue towards how the previous model and the current model actually differ, right? The previous model of learning was workshops. The new model that we are discussing with you is by AI voice coaches. Previously, you had infrequent workshops. Now, the new AI voice coaches are available at every click of time. An example to tell you all how vastly helpful this is studies. For example, I'm sure all of you, we all went to schools and universities. We all had exams coming up, and we all decided, okay, let's cram everything into 1 or 2 sessions and then go and give the exam and hope we pass and get an A, right? And some of us actually did. I cannot say that for the most of us too, right? And so here, how will it help that teachers would be telling us every day that you still go home and study 30 minutes every day. You won't need to do the cramming session that you do, right? And so this is something that applies here as well. Instead of going to workshops that happen once a quarter, twice a quarter, you can go and actually use an AI voice coach that can be ready, available to you at any tick of time. You can have a 15-minute session every day, every week, and you will see large amount of improvements. You will go home from office, you will go home from work, from whatever session you have. In fact, you can even use it open in the night if you don't actually are engaged in outside activities. And then you can say, okay, I talked to so and so with my siblings, with my parents, with my colleagues, with my manager, with my employees, and so on. And then you can have short sessions with it. And then you can actually see where you were lacking, where you were improving. The lacking portion is covered by feedback. When you're actually talking to it, talking to the agent, after your discussion with it, after it has done role playing with you about a certain role, it will go then towards, okay, here is my feedback. Here is where you lacked. Here is where you showed more empathy. Here is where you should have slowed down. Here you shouldn't have slowed down, and so on. This actual feedback you will be getting every day. You will be applying it every day, obviously, if you want to. And every day, week by week, day by day, you will be seeing qualitative improvement. It is impossible not to see the improvement here. Some days, the coach will probably say that you're worse than yesterday. Some days it will say you are better than before. But overall, on average, you will see improvement. Again, it's impossible not to, as long as you want to, as long as you are trying to, applying the feedback, answering and discussing with the coach as much as possible, you will see very good results, right? This is just micro learning, a brief example of micro learning, and then trying to cram a session, everything in one session. There is vast differences between them. We have been listening to this thing for ages by our teachers, and this is something that is still true today. Obviously, it does not matter if you go to a workshop or you use an AI voice coach unless you actually practice or want to. You cannot gain experience and strengthen soft skills. Now, a brief example of practical use cases. A lot of these things I'm telling you, you will be thinking, okay, these are futuristic things. Maybe they are possible, maybe they are not possible. But as Usman has already showed you in a brief example, and I'm sure you all have access to GPT, you all are using it very regularly. It's a voice model, you can see how it responds to you. So these are all things that are being done today, right? A brief few examples of them is an AI voice coach. These are projects that are very common that people are actively using. You set up an AI coach, you give it a list of interview questions that you want to prep for, give it the details, give it an actual book if you want to about the standards of interviews and how you want it to be conducted. There are different set of interviews. Some are different for each other. If you are taking a L40 test or you're taking a fireman test, there's a difference between them. So once you have give this information, you can conduct interviews with the AI coach. It will take an interview with you. It will tell you where you lack, where you're good, what you're doing wrong, what you're doing right after the call ends, after you've done simulating an interview. Sales calls. We all know inbound lead calls, outbound lead calls. People, we have people who do them. There are people who actively want to do these things. But right now, since a few years back, uh, AI agents have jumped into this field and now they have improved so much when they are pitching something and when they get a certain reply, they know they can understand the tone of the person, tone of the customer, what they are saying, how they are saying it, where they are angry, confident, uh, they are annoyed, or they actually actively wanting something, and then it changes its passage, changes delivery based on this information. In fact, it's used in even more other things in communication trainings, in uh, training about certain courses, in resolving conflicts between certain groups, and so on. So these are all things that are actively being used today in active use cases. Now, I have told you brief details about what is currently happening. Now, what is in the future for learning? If this is all being done today, what is the main goal? What can happen in the future? So, the brief description about it that LMS modules will be changing a lot, vastly. In fact, right now, current LMSs, if you're familiar with virtual university, also what they do is they have videos of teachers teaching you. Students come, they take those videos. They have FAQs that they can put their questions in that a teacher has to, once the teacher is available, they answer the student. And this is an entire module. They have sessions, they have classrooms, they are assigned videos, they are assigned courses, they have quizzes, assignments, exams, and then a degree or a certificate. Half of these will disappear towards AI. AI will be taking the video lecture, or in the future even there won't even be a video. It'll be a real-time communication and conversation between the student and the teacher. The teacher will be an AI agent. The AI agent will even have the teacher's face if they want to. It will be a real-time communication. After that conversation, after it has done teaching the course, the student can even go and say, okay, I want to ask a certain thing. The AI tutor is available anytime, day and night. Don't need to wait for the teacher to reply to you, for the to post a question in the FAQ and then wait for the teacher to reply to you once he gets available. You can ask instantly, you will get a reply instantly. And this makes practice repeatable, fast, and most of all, measurable. Since an AI agent is teaching you, it is also tracking how you are being taught, what you're being taught, your progress, what you knew yesterday and what you know today, what you knew a week ago and what you know in a week from now. Right? It can show real-time tracking to teachers or to organization members or to your parents that you are actively learning, what you are learning, what topics you are proficient in, what topics you are excelling in, what topics you are showing interest in. These are all things that can be shown in dashboards and tracking monitoring, right? And the feedback to students, feedback to parents, feedback to all sorts is near instant. And this is a brief showcase, a brief about soft skills, how AI tutors can help you learn soft skills, better your soft skills, and the future of learning. If you all have any questions, we are free to open. And if any of you are interested in the technical development of some of the use cases we have shown you and some of the things that we have talked about, please reach out to us at ABR. We are always ready and available.